So I had a few emails. I figured I'd get those about Infinity Scalper. And I just thought I would show some of the trades that occurred during the London session and also into the US session. Now, as outlined in the PDF, it tells you do not use indicator on weak or slow markets outside the recommended trading hours. That's the London and US sessions. And we're looking at 3 o'clock Eastern time for the London session. And then we're looking down here at 8 o'clock Eastern for the New York session. And the best trades occur in the first 2 to 3 hours. And I spoke about that in my review video. And also that it's important to trade only the following current trend. Only following the current trend. And to do that, I'm just going to put on a 20 period moving average. That's it. Nothing special. And also, knowing some price action, some structure is going to help you as well. Higher highs, higher lows, lower highs, and lower lows. Let's just jump in and let's see. So the first thing we're going to look at here is the Euro US dollar. And again, as we talked about, stay out of these choppy markets. Choppy markets, it doesn't matter what strategy you are using, are tough trades. And you can just, draw a simple line right across there, and the range is pretty obvious. And when using a 20 period moving average or any moving average, if price is going back and forth or hugging the line, there's not a whole lot of momentum going on in that market at that time. Any trades that show up down here, you're not going to want to take. But again, it does say, 3 o'clock is our start time. So it's in this area right here. So we can look at the moving average and we can say it's pointing upwards, and it's pointing upwards. We're going to look for uptrends. That's all we're going to look for. Uptrend trades. There you go. So looking at 3 o'clock here, we have a trade here, and you want to get in when this green bar closes. So looking at an entry here, and then we're going to get out when this red bar closes. So this trade is actually a scratch trade. Nothing much happens here. When we got out, you can reverse, but again, remember, what are we trading in line with? We are trading in line with the predominant trend, which we are using our moving average. And you can see here, we put in a low here, we broke above this here, and we put in a high here. So now we're getting through the uptrend pattern. So now we're looking in through here, right? We're going to skip all trades to the downside because our moving average tells us up. And our next trade entry comes here at 5:25. First 2 to 3 hours, right? So the entry is in this area right here. Let's say your fill is at 1361. And these yellow lines are called optimal exits. So for this trade here, this is like a 20 pip trade. But here's the good thing. If you are trading either structure or you're using another method of exiting, which is waiting for this green to turn red, you're looking at a pretty good trade this morning that's still going on. So you're looking at an entry at, like I said, in this area, around this area here, right, the close of this candle. Where we are now, this is a 55, 56 pip trade so far until we get a red bar closing. Or you might want to say, okay, well, if it starts turning down strong, I might just exit the trade. But again, if you picked up Infinity Scalper last night, you've done really, really well today. All right, so that's just the Euro US dollar. That's all I'm going to looking at on this chart here, simply because I want to point out the range and trading in the direction of the overall trend and where we'd be sitting right now. Let's take a look at the pound US dollar. Again, 3 o'clock is around this time here. And again, you'll see prices hugging the line, just chopping back and forth. We do get some pickup in here. They're already into a short trade here. So how are you going to do that? Are you going to jump in? What are you going to do? It's up to you. Follow the PDF manual. For now, I'm just looking at the entries and taking them as they are. Here's our next trade we can get involved in. It's at 4:25 in the morning. It is a long trade, but we have a flat moving average, right? So the trend would say flat. We just came off a downtrend. This is a trade you would skip, and it's pretty clear. As I mentioned in the PDF, trade only the following trend, following the current trend. So we come over here, we have an entry here, we have an upsloping trend line here. Our entry is on the close of this candle at 540, so we're still in our little window. And then we get a big move up here, 40 odd pips. This is our ultimate, ideal exit. So if you exited there and you got in there, you're looking at 20 pips. If you waited, you got this momentum candle, you still made some profit, you still covered spread costs and made a few extra pips, but that's about it. Coming in down through here, We have our 7 o'clock, but now we're out of the market, right? We're waiting until 8 o'clock. We're trading the first 2 to 3 hours of the London session. And this trade, it does work. It does work for 27 pips. But again, I'm just going to follow the rules as laid out in the PDF. And, nothing fancy here. We see that we're still down, but we're in the downtrend. We come over here. It is now 11:15, right? It's from 8 to 11. That's more than 3 hours. We're going to walk away. And yeah, this trade does, do something. You do get a little bit. However you exit, we're still in an uptrend here, so we'd ignore this downtrend here. So maybe you did exit there. Made a little bit of profit. But again, this is not a trade you would be in because we are not trading past our 2 to 3 hour window. And our last pair is the Euro Japanese Yen. And again, we're in an uptrend here. We're already in a trade to the upside. You wouldn't take this one. It's at midnight. But you're already looking at a trade that went, 40 odd pips right there. So that was a winning trade if you took it. But again, we're just going to stick to our rules here. So we're coming up from an up move here. We're more or less going sideways at this point. Our trade is right here in a flat moving average. We skipped this down trade. We are still at 520. Trade is moved. The trend line is moved up. The entry on this candle is right here. And again, how you exit. If you took this exit here, basically what happened here, we got rejected at resistance. So you made, a few pips, covered your spread cost. If you held on and you're trading the reversals, you're looking pretty much at a break-even trade. In through here is 10:35. Remember, first 2 to 3 hours, we're looking at trade. Here is 8:45. It's a legitimate trade, right? But it's not. It's against the trend that we're looking at right now. So you skip this down move, and it doesn't really go far, does it? And here at 10:35, here's the close of this candle here. Your ideal exits up in this area here, according to this, right? But again, if you are waiting for the next signal to come around, you are looking at from here to about here, a 30 pip trade. Now we call this scalping, but these trades, some of these trades just kept on going. So if you want to get out earlier, you can use structure, whatever you're going to use. So that's the Infinity Scalper. I showed you a few currency pairs here. I've talked to you a little bit about trend. I've talked to you about exits, right? How you can get out. We are using the trading style over here, as you can see, of conservative. There's other ones you can use that are more aggressive. But for these videos I'm making, I'm just going to use the conservative one. I haven't gone through and tested everything up with Infinity Scalper. But you know what? Click below, download it.